We welcome in a man with an impressive resume. This guard scored 646 career points and had 215 assists over his NBA career with 3 organizations. There must be something about that number, as he was a 3-point specialist as well. Over his 15-year playing career, he played in the Spanish, Italian, Greek, Russian, and many other leagues, so the man must be fluent in many languages. A family man, as he's proudly posting his kids' accomplishments on Instagram, showing the hashtag Bremer blood. However, he has no dad bod, as he is a certified personal trainer. This man has made a full circle in life, as he is the current head coach at his alma mater, Cleveland Heights. We welcome in JR Bremer. What is going on, my man?
What's going on? What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Better that you're joining me tonight. How's everything been with this season?
It's going good. Appreciate you having me. First off, the season just got started probably about a week ago. We had tryouts and had our first practice last Saturday, and we had a scrimmage this past Saturday. So we're a weekend. Everything's going well.
All right, and we're gonna go undefeated this season, right?
Now that's the goal, but that's probably not gonna happen. I'm gonna be realistic about it. I don't even think I want to go undefeated. I want them to feel that pain of losing, so they can come out harder the next time and for the rest of the season.
Okay, I like it. Got to keep everything in perspective. And JR, we're going to talk about your coaching career later, but I want to start with the early years. Now, you started your hooping career at Cleveland Heights, and it wasn't always destined, as your middle school coach said, you wouldn't make the varsity team. Now, not only did you prove him wrong, you hit a couple big free throws to win states. Got to feel pretty good proving that person wrong, right?
Yeah, it feels real good. Coming in middle school, I was small, probably 5'5", 5'6", 90 pounds when I left. So nobody really believed in me. So that made me just work that much harder, just to prove everybody wrong and to prove to myself that I could do it if I really wanted to do it. And then being on my freshman year, but being on varsity a little bit my sophomore year and hitting those free throws my junior year was something that I'm really proud of.
I feel a little bit better. I'm 5'5", so I've gotten that I'm short the entire life, my thing, but I'm not 90 pounds. But your junior year, you got some looks, and after you won the state championship, St. Bonaventure's offered you a scholarship, and you committed and balled out your senior year, averaging 26 points per game. And even though more schools started reaching out, you're a loyal guy and kept your commitment to the Bonnies. So I really love that. I feel like loyalty isn't something that's always shown. A lot of people view basketball as a business, and it is. But I think when you have instances like that, I think it shows a lot about someone's character.
Yeah, I'm really big on loyalty, and that was huge for me to be able to get that scholarship offer. I only had a few coming after my junior year, and St. Bonaventure then being in the Atlantic 10, playing some of the best teams in the country. It was a no-brainer after I went for the visit. And then, like you said, I had a very, very good senior year when I was coach let me be free, and I ended up being the man and played my role. My junior year we won states, but then I was the man the senior year, so I was able to score more and show more of my game than most teams knew that I had. But at that point, whatever offers came in, I really wasn't paying attention to it because St. Bonaventure saw it without me actually doing it.
Yeah, and it's like you contributed a lot to recycling, because I'm sure you just put those papers in the recycling, not even looking at them.
I definitely looked at them. I was excited about them, but in the bigger scheme of things, there was no way I was going to go back on St. Bonaventure and that coach there.
Yeah, and I want to talk about your career at St. Bonnie's, because it could be told in two halves. Your freshman and sophomore year, you averaged 9 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds, playing about 26 minutes per game and only starting 7 games. However, your junior and senior year, you really took off. You started all 60 games, averaging 16 and then 24.6 points per game your final season. You averaged a career high in rebounds, steals, and shot percentage. So what changed between those 2 years? Was it the classic, the upperclassmen get more playing time, or did you really work on your craft between the sophomore and junior junior seasons?
Yeah. I think it was a little bit of both, and then a little bit of luck at the same time, because usually coming in as a freshman into college, most freshmen don't get to really play any significant minutes, and I was fortunate enough to be able to play some significant time with our point guard having some issues off the court, so I was able to step in and play early and get accustomed to the college basketball early. So I think that was a blessing. But just continuing to work every year, I improved my points and my assists from freshman to senior year, and that's the coaches pushing me and my teammates pushing me and me pushing myself to try to be the best version of myself. And my Coach Barron, he's a New York guy, and he was big on point guard. So he taught me a lot how to get the team going and get myself going as well. And then he ended up leaving my junior year, and Coach Van Berdikoff came in from Pepperdine my senior year, and he was a defensive coach, but he let you have all the freedom that you wanted to have on the offensive end, as long as you played D. And that was right up my alley. And the guys, they used to just set so many screens and get me open. I ended up averaging 24 points a game.
I mean, it works. Shooters shoot, right?
Right.
And look, it paid off. And in 2002, you attended the NBA Chicago pre-draft combine and tested as the #1 tested athlete, which I had to like read that over a couple times. Is that just like they're doing the measurables, testing your vertical?
Yeah, I mean that's everything. They test your vertical, your speed, your shuttle run, your lifting, a little bit of everything mixed in, and they calculate it all. And I ended up being the #1. My trainer, Tim Robertson, Eric Lichter down at Speed Strength, they really got me right. It was ironic that Nene Hilario, he was training with me at the same time, and when the results came out, I was #1 and he was #2. So it was
Oh,
it
let's
was crazy
go.
that we all came from the same trainer.
Let's go. Hey, props to the trainer. Maybe that's what
Right,
got you into it, right?
right, for sure. They definitely got me prepared.
So, although you went undrafted, you signed as a free agent with the Celtics and had quite the impact on them. You started 41 games for the C's, averaging 8.3 points per game, 2.6 assists, and 2 rebounds. You helped them get into the playoffs and earned NBA All-Second Rookie Team, and you hit a game winner over the Wizards, which I remember watching. So,
Yeah.
if you want to know how I first knew about you, it's because you killed us that game with 20 points.
Yeah, that game was crazy. Well, just leading up to that, I mean, I went to so many different workouts, and at that time, scoring 24, 25 points per game at the point guard wasn't really something that the NBA was looking for. It was more of a classic point guard style, pass first, defend, Jason Kidd, Gary Payton, Sam Cassell, those type of guys. Now in the league, if I was coming out of college now, I think I probably would have been first round, possibly a lottery with those numbers. But back then, they weren't really looking for that. So I had to go through the grind, continue to work. Thought I was going to get drafted, but I didn't get drafted. So I went to a couple of summer camps and a couple of summer leagues. And Boston is one of the teams that I never worked out for. I never had any contact. And it was just a stop by there for a couple games before I headed to Toronto. And I played a couple summer league games. And the day I was supposed to leave to go to Toronto, they called me and offered me a contract. So that was beautiful. And then it was surreal playing against Michael, that game that I hit the three to win it. That was against Jordan, and they were trying to make the playoffs, and that three really hurt him. And coach had just told me that I was not losing my starting spot, but he was big on playing veterans, and the playoffs was about to start. So I had moved to the 6-man position. So I don't know if I was angry inside and played that well or what it was, but it was a great feeling.
Was it that game where they said, all right, you're going to try and stop MJ? He calls for ISO, hits a turnaround fadeaway on you. They go back to him. Next play, hits another one, and you get yanked. Was that the same game?
No, that's not the same game. This was the first time that we played the Wizards. This was when I wasn't getting any playing time, and Michael was doing what he does, and coach called me in. I didn't even think I was going to play that game. At that time, I wasn't getting any minutes, and he just called me out the blue and told me I was guarding Mike. So I really didn't know how to feel. Like I said before, it's just, should I be in awe that I'm guarding him, or should I try to really lock him down because I'm trying to earn me some minutes? But either way, he hit 2 fadeaways on me and sent me right back to the bench.
It's all right. You got the game winner the next time,
I got to take back.
There you go. There you go. Not many people can say they got their redemption. What I think is interesting is you got traded to the Cavaliers the following season, and you mentioned that this was a dream come true. And not that just you got to the NBA, but you're able to play in front of your hometown. And general manager Jim Paxson was a big fan of yours, saying, quote, he's a guy who can really shoot the ball from the perimeter, and showed as a rookie he was able to contribute on a playoff team. But you made such an impact with the Celtics your first year. Did they say why they traded you?
They didn't. I know Well, new management that came in toward the end of my year, and they wanted to make some changes. We made it to the second round of the playoffs, and they didn't feel that was good enough, so they wanted to try to make some changes to help put the team in a better position to go forward. And me getting traded was one of the things that they thought would help the guys that they brought in would help that Celtics team get further than that second round. That's pretty much all I got. But I didn't know I got traded until someone from here called me and told me that I was coming home.
It's kind of unprofessional, but I'm a believer that things happen for a reason. And so you go back home to the Cavs. It's a dream come true. First game with the Cavs. Everybody knows LeBron debut. You guys go to Sacramento. You drop 20 off the bench. We're not going to leave that out.
Mm-hmm.
But home openers, fourth game of the season against the Nuggets. What were you feeling during that game?
I don't know. Just butterflies going all through my stomach just to be home again, playing in front of family and friends. Except I'm playing on the highest level possible. Was just it was kind of surreal. But once I ran onto the court, all those things went out my mind, and I had to just focus on basketball. I couldn't really hear anybody in the stands. You could all the 20,000 fans screaming. You couldn't really hear them. You just had to lock in.
Okay. No, I like it. And I mean, like you said, it's kind of like a full rewind, like playing in front of your hometown team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the pressure's on LeBron, but there's that underlying narrative as well in that storyline.
Yeah.
So,
You always get the he's from Cleveland too. I always get the little two.
yeah. No, you were there first. You were there first. Okay.
Right. That's for sure.
So you played 31 games with the Cavs before being selected by the Bobcats in the expansion draft. And before you even played with the club. So I know you didn't actually play a game with the Bobcats, but
Mm-hmm.
what was the process like? Because I know during that expansion time, each team can protect 8 players on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
So do teams let you know, like, hey, you might be chosen, or is it a surprise?
It's a surprise. You're watching it like you're watching the draft when I was coming out of college. It's just you're looking to see if you're going to be one of those guys that they draft, and you prepare yourself to lead the team that you're on, knowing in the back of your head that it's a high chance that you, not a high chance, but it's a possibility that you could be gone. So you don't really know what to think. You don't really know if you're protected or not. They didn't. I mean, maybe I didn't know because I wasn't. They didn't tell me, so I don't know how that worked. So once I saw my name get called out, I just was ready to head to the Bobcats.
How come you didn't want to play with them?
I mean, I definitely I did want to play. I don't think I didn't have the talent or the accolades to say who I do and who I don't want to play for. I just wanted to play basketball, but they had to draft, and I guess you just had to draft a certain amount of players, but they had other guys on their mind, so they went in a different direction.
It's a pretty crazy concept because we haven't had any teams expanded since then. So to think like they're going to, each team is protecting 8 players, essentially
Right.
half their roster, and you can pick from certain guys is
Right.
kind of a wild concept. So before we transition to your post-NBA career, do you know your career high?
Where in the NBA?
NBA.
I would have to say that it was either on the road versus Golden State. I don't know the number, or at home where we had the smoke bomb, and I ended up not having as much as I could have had. I'm not sure though. I don't remember.
So from my research, you dropped 25 on March 7th, 2003 against the Clippers.
Yep. That was at home, and it was crazy. I was shooting the lights out. I was on fire, and then somebody threw a smoke bomb, and we had to sit for about 20 minutes till that cleared out, and I think I cooled off, so I could have had more than that. But that was the one I was thinking of. The Clippers are at Golden State.
Man, that's crazy. It must have been a Clippers fan that threw that smoke bomb. I didn't know that story.
I wasn't a Celtics fan. Yeah, we all had the towels over our mouths and everything, and talking and laughing why it cleared out. But it definitely cooled me down.
Oh man, that's crazy because you could have dropped 30 in that game had that not happened.
Definitely could have had 30 that game.
But we're maybe even pushing 40, right?
40 might be really, like you said, pushing it, but for sure I could have had 30.
All right. Well, I love the keeping it in perspective. So after your time in the NBA, you chose to have a great overseas career with many different stops. And I know that you were one of the highest paid point guards in Europe in 2008, but money aside, was there any reason that you chose not to come back to the NBA after?
I mean, I think once you leave and make that transition to Europe, you're like out of sight, out of mind. and I had a very good offer to go over there that first year. And as a young kid, I didn't really look at the long term effects. You know, if I did it over again, I probably wouldn't have went over to Europe so fast, because I was just thinking about the then and the now, but not really thinking about the future. And then I had plans on coming back to the NBA that after that year, and after that year I went to Italy. In the middle of that season, I had plans on coming back. I ended up breaking my foot, and then once I broke my foot and rehab, came back again, back to Italy, broke it again, probably a week later. So those not dreams, but the thought that I had going on at that time changed from what I could do to what I had to do.
Hmm. And I mean, look, you had a 15-year career, so I think as long as you're playing basketball in some capacity and you're keeping that dream alive, that's the most important thing.
Hmm.
Going to the other side of the ball now, I mean, you're coaching now your alma mater, Cleveland Heights, and I know you're a believer things happen for a reason, and it certainly seems circumstantial because in May 2019, the same week you were inducted into the Hall of Fame, former coach John Capoletti,
Jim.
I am 1 for 1 on
Yep.
pronunciation today,
Yep.
passed away. Athletic Joe Diamato knew you were the number one candidate in his eyes. So, I mean, I feel like it's destined for that. But now that you're a coach, what is the biggest lesson you've learned from being on that other side?
I can see why my coaches got so frustrated sometimes in like practices and in games, and things that they see in players, and the work ethic, or the lack of focus, and things of that nature. Like, you when you're playing, you don't really realize what's going on the coach's side as far as scouting and plays, and getting guys to do this and getting guys to do that. You're just worried about yourself and you're just playing. But now that I'm a coach, I can understand the frustrations, and how the coaches go off on the referees, or they'll go off on their players and all that stuff. So I look at all my coaches differently now. And whenever I see them, I do apologize. Like, coach, I never knew. I apologize. I get it now.
Have you gotten a technical as a coach?
I have got a technical.
Oh, yes, I love it.
I
That's
have, yeah.
intensity.
And I'm a calm, mild mannered person. But once the game gets going and your energy starts flowing, I'm all over the place, screaming at the refs and screaming at everybody else.
I love it. I love that's
Yeah,
intensity. Do you make your players run sprints?
all the time.
Oh,
All the
so
time.
they got to be in the best conditioned team, right?
Yeah, well, they definitely, if not the best, they're definitely one of the best, because it's just, being a player, you actually know what they're doing, when they're going hard, when they're not, when they're trying to get over. So it's a gift and a curse, because I can read them and I know exactly what's happening. And if I wasn't a player before, I might miss some of those things. So I think it's good that I can see it sometimes, but sometimes it's bad because I'm a little bit too hard on them. But they know it's all love at the end.
Yeah, and I love when former players coach because you've been on that other side where you're
Hmm.
like you said, I can read your energy. Are you going hard? Are you not?
Right.
And for you to say like, hey, I'm a 5'5", 90-pound guy in middle school to go undrafted and make it the NBA, like that's the game, the
Right.
X's and O's. It's mental as much as it is physical.
For
And I
sure.
think hopefully your players will look back and say, maybe he made me run too much, but he got the best out of me.
Yeah. They know I make them run. I be on them heavy, but they know I care about them the most. And I think that's the biggest thing with coaching, especially when you're coming in. Your players got to know that you really care about them, and when you care about them, they'll run through a wall for you. They'll run sprints because they know that I got their best interest at heart. And when you got the best interest in the kid's heart, they don't mind those things.
Truer words have never been said. We are speaking with JR Bremer, NBA vet, head coach now, who's gotten a technical.
Right.
JR, we like to get our guests out of here with a little triple play rapid fire, some this or that questions. You probably haven't been asked some of these before. You game?
Okay. I'm ready. Shoot.
All right. Would you rather win a championship as a player or as a coach?
Player.
Okay. I love it. Be selfish.
Yeah.
Favorite muscle group to work at the gym?
Chest.
Okay. All right. What's the max on bench press?
It used to be in the 300s. Now I don't know what it is. Now I do more reps than just single set maxes.
I mean, at 300 max, I'll take it. Would you rather drop 40 in a game or have a triple double?
Triple double.
Okay. All right. Would you rather find $10 on the ground or find all your missing socks?
$10 on the ground because I'm never gonna find all the missing socks that match.
I mean, it's a sock. There's got to be like a sock fairy, right?
For sure. You got. I probably have about 5 socks that I find all the time, and none of them match. I don't even know how that's possible.
And I'm with you. There is an adrenaline rush about finding money on the ground. Would you rather sit in wet paint and not know about it, or step in gum with your bare foot?
Oh, sit in wet paint, not know about it.
At least you won't know about it, right?
Right.
All right, this
it up.
This is how you know I did a little stalking on your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You can own any property in Monopoly that isn't Park Place or Boardwalk. What are you picking?
Mediterranean and Baltic.
Oh, I like it. The early ones.
Yeah. Get them as soon as you come past go. You gotta pass me all the time. Slow and steady.
I'm a Marvin Gardens kind of guy. I like that yellow corner right there.
Yeah, that's expensive. That Mediterranean Baltic, you can pay for that on one pass and a go, and it just collect every single time. That Marvin Gardens, you got to add up to get those hotels on that.
Would you rather eat an entire bag of hot dogs or hot dog buns?
Hot dogs or hot dog buns? Hot dogs.
All right, it's got protein, right?
Flavor. Yeah, I need some type of flavor or something.
All right. We got 3 more left. Would you rather participate in a water balloon fight or a snowball fight?
Water balloon. Means
okay.
Warm outside.
All right. I'm with you. I'm more warm weather than cold weather. Would you rather encounter dinosaurs or aliens?
Dinosaurs.
Okay. Favorite dinosaur you have?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
There you go. The classic.
Yeah.
All right. Last one here. I leave you open for 10 3-pointers, but you have to shoot right-handed. How many are you making?
6.
6 out of 10 with the offhand.
6 out of 10. I'm really right-handed. I just shoot with my left. So
wait,
that's a little.
How did I not know this? 25 minutes into the interview.
No, nobody knows it. That was my little secret my whole career. Everybody was saying force and right, but I'm really right-handed. Only thing I do with my left hand is shoot the jump shot and throw the ball. But I eat with my right. I write with my right. Everything is with my right.
Is there anything that you want to plug to our audience? Anything you're working on, where they can find your coaching highlights, where they can find your playing highlights, all that good stuff?
I mean, they can come look at my IG. That's JR Bremer 22, and they can follow me on that and check me out and see some things I got going on with my foundation. And I'm having an invitational here in Ohio from Everything Lead. That's actually my foundation right there, ELB. Those Everything Leads Back. Everything went in full circle for me from starting at Heights, and I'm coming back to Heights, and those are actually my initials as well, Ernest Linnell Bremer. So I think that's kind of cool, and follow that page. And
yeah, and you can also follow him on Twitter at JBrem22. We got to get his follower count up because he posts a lot of good stuff on both socials.
Yeah. Come check me out.
Awesome. Well, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in. We